Should disabilities be included in The Sims? Well, there is no easy answer here, so buckle up. Hello baby boys, yes, today's video is about disabilities and disabilities in The Sims actually. Yeah, at the end of the day, this is a channel about The Sims, and in the past I made a video about how I thought disabilities should be part of the game, but now I'm revisiting some of my old opinions on the topic because they change. Yeah, let's talk about it. You know, The Sims is a life simulation game inspired by our huge, imperfect, and always changing human life. So I guess it makes a lot of sense that some people might feel the need to have disabilities in their games, not only as representation but also as a realistic gameplay option. Do you know what I mean? Disabilities are part of our human life, and so, you know, my reasons to defend that they should be included in the game are pretty much the same, but now I can see some reasons to actually not include them in the game, so we'll be discussing both. Right now, The Sims is featuring a lot of ways of representing real bodies, ethnicities, religion, gender, and all of that is super cool. We even have a bunch of afro hairs. I mean, I'm just saying this because it took long enough, but now we do have these options and I'm so glad. We even have some healthy options, I guess, related to like some ways of disabilities. So we have some hearing aids, we have some scars, and all of that is really cool, really welcomed. And so I guess a lot of people around the world can feel represented by the game, are able to create themselves inside of the game, and all of this is crazy cool, and you know, just how the game should be. I feel like this is telling everybody is part of The Sims, everybody can play the game. I think all of this represents a huge progress in the game industry and in this franchise, and so I really love The Sims 4 for all of that. Even though the game sucks for all of the right reasons, they are also, you know, deserving of some props for this cool stuff that I just mentioned. So that's, you know, part of the reason why I believe disabilities should be part of the game, because everybody should be able to feel represented, everybody should be able to create themselves inside of the game, even though I don't understand why would you wanna do that. I mean, I hate myself, I don't wanna play with myself, I wanna play with others, but everybody has their own way of playing the game. On the other hand, even though a lot of players want disabilities to be part of The Sims, the devs said that they are not going to make an expansion pack including disabilities because they don't feel like it's fair to charge for diversity, which I understand, but at the same time is acknowledging that disabilities will never be part of the game, because I don't see how they could add disabilities just from the base game. It would be pretty much impossible, it would require a massive update that, to be honest, I don't see happening. So this makes me wonder, what is the best option, to charge for diversity or to just not have this type of diversity at all in the game? I wonder how the people that want to feel represented and want to, you know, play with disabilities because they have disabilities in real life are feeling about this. I don't know. I saw someone saying that EA was doing people with disabilities so wrong because we already have transgender Sims and we don't even have wheelchairs. Now, to me, this type of comparison is really crazy and out of place, but yeah, some people also say that. So by now I believe we established that representation matters, the reason why it matters, the reason why disabilities could be part of the game. Now let's talk about the reasons why I believe disabilities shouldn't be part of the game at all as well. So let's go. I was thinking about how all of these could be a feature of the game, and I came to the conclusion that disabilities would be either a feature of Create a Sim, either something that a Sim could develop throughout life, either something that a Sim could be born with, or even all of the above. I believe disabilities should be an option actually. If they were going to be added to the game, then they should be an option and not something that can just happen out of nothing to everybody's Sims, because I can see a lot of people not enjoying this type of gameplay. Like if a Sim out of nothing needs to be on a wheelchair. I can see a lot of people going on Facebook groups and saying, oh, how I fix my sim, how can I cure it? And these type of comments are just not worth it, okay? So yeah, I believe disabilities, if present in the game in the future, should be an option of create a sim and not something that can happen throughout normal gameplay. Maybe they could be part of the gameplay as something that can happen out of nothing, but then we could have maybe an option of like turning this feature on or off, do you know what I mean? This would make things easier, I guess. Now I feel the need of saying something pretty obvious, and I'm not trying to offend or diminish anyone, so please try to understand where I'm coming from, okay? But disabilities are not something good. Nobody wants to have a disability, and if you do have a disability, you're not disabled, you just have this extra struggle, I guess, in life. I don't know how to word this properly, but you get what I'm trying to say, I hope. And the reason why I'm saying all of this is because a lot of people say that when we say we want disabilities to be part of the game, we're kind of romanticizing something that is not quite good and that, you know, real people are struggling with in the real world. And so I wanted to acknowledge this opinion and this point of view as well, as I saw even some people that have disabilities in real life sharing these opinions, okay? Some people think all of this is romanticizing disabilities and everything, and I think that's a valid opinion. It's not necessarily my opinion, and not everybody who lives with a disability thinks this way. And another problem would be the animations. So every single animation from the game would have to be adapted to, for example, someone on a wheelchair, a little person, someone amputee. All of these animations from each and every single expansion pack of the game, not only the base game, would have to be remade, so all of these new sims could be included, and that's something that I don't see happening. Now, I just don't see how a game The Break after every single update could ever handle something like this. As stated before, this is not only a matter of representation but also realism, and a lot of people like their game to be really realistic. Now, even though I totally understand the need of a more realistic gameplay, I feel like there is a lot of stuff that are realistic but shouldn't be added to the game at all, such as criminal activities, bad stuff in general. And so my point is, should we be adding disabilities to the game even though, as I stated before, they are not something exactly good? When it comes down to realistic gameplay, us as simmers, where do we draw the line where we say, oh, this is too much? Do you know what I mean? I know for a fact a lot of people living with disabilities do not want this to be a part of the game because they are playing the game in the first place to forget their real life problems, and so they don't feel the need to have this part of their lives represented inside of the game, and I think that's valid as well. I was reading some comments on the topic, and also some people believe that having some disabilities in the game but not every single disability will not be fair, and to be honest, it is impossible to have a game featuring every single disability that we have because there's just so many, and also a lot of disabilities are on a spectrum. So autism, for example, there's no way the game can represent every single way of being an autistic person. Keep in mind that not everybody who lives with a disability shares the same opinions on this topic, alright? So some folks might think it is offensive, some folks might think it is inclusive. I should add that this is much more complex than opinions alone, and it's not up to anybody to decide for everybody whether all of these should be part of the game or not. Yes, although disabilities are not coming to The Sims anytime soon, this does not mean your game cannot have them. There is a lot of custom content that can help you adding more representation to your game. The amazing CC maker Two Fingers Whiskey runs the Sims with Disability Tumblr, where every CC related to disabilities made by our community is posted. Here you can find CC for Sims 2, 3, and 4. I understand this is probably not the best way to make the game feels more inclusive, but at least for now that's all we have. And honestly, I just wanna thank every single CC maker because you guys are amazing. This whole discussion reminds me so much of a Black Mirror episode, the one we had like this virtual reality where people could go after death, enjoy their afterlife I guess, and the main character was a paralytic woman that could walk in this virtual world. So I feel like this relates to what some folks say, you know, about not wanting to have disabilities in the game, as they already have them in real life and it sucks. Now I'll speak for myself a little bit. So in real life I do limp. This can be a disability but not in my case, and so this is not something that I'm struggling with by any means, but even so, if I was going to recreate myself inside of the game, even though I don't see myself doing that at all, I would like to have my sim version limping just like I do, okay? So I not only understand the need of representation, but I also support it. And yeah, if you ask me, I would like to have disabilities in the game, but I can totally see that there is a bigger picture than just what I want, okay? That is so much more. But now it's up to you. What do you think? Should disabilities be part of the game or not? So let me know in the comments. Even if people say I'm woke or too political, I don't really mind. I believe these topics matter. This game, as I said before in this video, is inspired by our human life, and our human life is full of diversity, and this is beautiful. Anyway, baby boys, that was today's video. If you love it, then show me some love. I'll see you in the next one.